Everybody talks about passive income like it's some kind of magical money machine. You just set it up once, then watch the dollars roll in while you sit back and relax. But what if I told you the reality is a lot more complicated? Behind the scenes, building a truly passive income stream often demands more time, effort, and patience than anyone on social media wants to admit. By the way, this channel posts one insight like this every day, so if this breakdown helps you, consider subscribing. Here on Brand Name, we're all about getting real with the money conversations that matter. Let's start by unpacking what passive income really means. At its core, passive income is money earned with minimal ongoing effort. Sounds ideal, right? But the truth is, most passive streams require a hefty upfront investment, whether that's time, money, or specialized skills. Take rental properties, for example. On paper, they generate rent checks every month with little work. But in reality, landlords spend hours dealing with maintenance, tenant issues, and unpredictable expenses. It rarely looks as effortless as the Instagram posts suggest. And the same goes for creating digital products, like ebooks, online courses, or apps. Yes, once the product is made, you could technically earn royalties on autopilot, but the initial phase, it can take months or even years of developing your expertise, writing, filming, marketing, and tweaking based on feedback. Even after launch, you're often juggling customer support, updates, and promotions. Passive income doesn't mean zero work. It means front-loaded work. Then there's investing in stocks or dividend-paying assets. This one seems like the classic set it and forget it route. But financial markets are complex and unpredictable. Smart investors spend time researching, monitoring trends, and adjusting portfolios. Sitting back and hoping for steady returns can be a costly mistake. And remember, dividends can fluctuate or disappear, especially in volatile economies. So, passive in this case often means patient and informed. Social media feeds rarely highlight these less glamorous parts. Instead, they zoom in on success stories, people who struck gold with a viral course or rental property, and package it as easy money. This oversimplification creates unrealistic expectations. When newcomers hit the inevitable challenges, slow growth, unexpected costs, or burnout, they often blame themselves, not realizing the system is more complicated. Another factor to consider is that passive income often requires continuous reinvestment. A YouTube creator might build a library of videos that earn ad revenue, but over time, viewer preferences change. To maintain or grow income, creators keep making new content. That means ongoing effort, creativity, and consistency. Even passive digital real estate is dynamic and demands attention. What's more, the idea of earning while you sleep can sometimes breed complacency. Believing income will flow effortlessly might discourage learning and active management, which are essential for long-term success. In essence, passive income is more about developing sustainable systems that free you from a 9-to-5 grind. But those systems don't run themselves. So when thinking about passive income, it's worth shifting the conversation. Instead of chasing the myth of instant hands-off wealth, acknowledging the upfront costs and ongoing commitments paints a clearer picture. With patience, realistic expectations, and a plan to manage the work behind the scenes, passive income can be a powerful tool, just not the effortless cash machine it's often made out to be. Let's dive a little deeper into the mindset behind this. The glossy portrayals online often attract people looking for shortcuts, but those who succeed are usually the ones prepared for the long haul, the learning curves, and the occasional setbacks. It's a journey, not a jackpot. In upcoming sections, we'll explore specific passive income paths, breaking down what to expect, common pitfalls, and the kind of effort that pays off in the end. Because understanding the real work is the first step toward building income that's truly sustainable and ultimately rewarding. Let's zoom in on one example that perfectly illustrates this dynamic: affiliate marketing. You might have seen influencers or bloggers promoting products, earning commissions on sales generated through their links. At first glance, it seems like a dream. Create a blog post or YouTube video, slap on some affiliate links, and watch the commissions trickle in. But here's the catch: you're entering a crowded arena where standing out takes real strategy. Crafting content that genuinely connects with an audience isn't just about throwing keywords on a page. It's storytelling, building trust, and offering value. And let's not forget the behind-the-scenes work: SEO research, keyword optimization, networking with brands, and constant experimentation. The income doesn't simply appear. It requires cultivating an audience, often over months or years. Then, there are the unpredictable shifts. Algorithm updates on platforms can suddenly decrease your visibility, or affiliate programs can change their terms or cut commissions. That means if your entire income depends on one platform or partnership, you're vulnerable. The stability often promised by passive setups is more fragile than it looks. It's also worth considering the emotional roller coaster involved. The early stages can feel like planting seeds in barren soil, little sign of growth, despite your efforts. During these times, it's easy to question the whole endeavor. But this phase is where persistence becomes a quiet superpower. The stories we don't often hear are the thousands of hours creators and entrepreneurs invest before they experience meaningful returns. On the flip side, when passive income streams do start to pay off, they can transform lives. They can offer freedom from rigid schedules, time to pursue passions, and a safety net during uncertain times. But even then, successful people tend to treat their passive income more like a living project than a finished product. It's an ongoing relationship, a cycle of monitoring, tweaking, and reinvesting. Reflecting on all this, perhaps the biggest lesson is about mindset. Passive income is less about luck or magic and more about resilience, adaptability, and honest self-assessment. It invites us to redefine what work means, not as a grind to escape from, but as a creative process to engage with on our own terms. In the end, chasing passive income isn't about avoiding effort. It's about choosing the type of effort that aligns with your life and goals. Those quiet, steady investments in skills, relationships, and systems are what build the foundation for income that works for you, not the other way around. So if you find yourself drawn to the allure of money flowing effortlessly, take a moment to appreciate the deeper story, the one about commitment, patience, and growth. Because that story, while less flashy, holds a richer promise. It's the promise that with time, care, and persistence, your income can become a source of freedom, not just in your bank account, but in your life. And maybe that's the most important takeaway of all. Passive income isn't a shortcut to wealth. It's a path, often winding and full of unexpected turns. It asks us to lean into discomfort, to be willing to fail and learn, and to embrace the slow build instead of the instant win. Take the story of someone like Pat Flynn, a well-known figure in the world of online business. Early on, he didn't just wake up one day to find his passive income streams flourishing. He spent years experimenting with podcasts, blogs, and courses, often facing setbacks and uncertainty. But by treating his work as an ongoing process, one he could refine and improve, he gradually built a portfolio that now generates income even when he's not actively working. Pat's story is inspiring, not because it's easy, but because it's honest about the grind behind the glow. Or consider the landlord who manages a few rental units. In quiet moments, they might count the monthly deposits with satisfaction, but those moments are balanced by late-night calls when a heater breaks down in winter, or the months spent filling vacancies. The income becomes passive only if and when a system of reliable tenants, trusted contractors, and clear maintenance plans is firmly in place, which itself is the product of hard-earned experience. Even in investing, the notion of set it and forget it often morphs into set it, check in regularly, learn continuously. Investors who truly build wealth over time tend to be those who cultivate discipline and patience, not those chasing the latest market frenzy. When we peel back the layers, what feels like magic is actually the result of persistent, thoughtful effort. Break time 300 milliseconds, and there's something quietly beautiful about that. Break time 300 milliseconds. It reminds us that value grows in soil tilled with intention and care, not in fields left fallow, waiting for fruit to drop. Break time 300 milliseconds. Break time 700 milliseconds. So maybe passive income is less about the money itself, and more about the relationship we form with our work and our goals. Break time 300 milliseconds. It invites us to rethink success, not as a one-time jackpot, but as a steady rhythm of progress, setbacks, learning, and small wins. Break time 300 milliseconds. Break time 700 milliseconds. And as we navigate this journey, there's a certain peace in knowing that we're building something real, something that reflects not just our aspirations for financial freedom, but our willingness to engage deeply with the process that brings it to life. Break time 300 milliseconds. In the quiet moments, When the illusions fade and the hard truths become clear, that's where the real opportunity lies. Break time 300 milliseconds, not in effortless riches, but in crafting a life where income and meaning grow hand in hand. Break time 300 milliseconds,